Welcome to our 6th and final episode of this session of Poker Time, our 5-10 cash game.
Stuart knows what a shot
Say, little no limit hold'em for you, Grant. That's Grant Dennison, my partner.
What do you mean that?
Partner in crime.
Like they can see me? Is there a camera?
Right over there.
Where do I look?
That's Grant Dennison over there. In the dumb hat.
Oh.
So all these going to limp with the King 9 of clubs.
You'll see it one day.
Oh, okay.
Surprising.
You know?
Mamba with the ace deuce of spades has got some raisin chips in hand.
It's just small
Would you
blind, right?
like me to spend like 10 minutes of time with you after this to get you up to date on?
Not really. I would just
Okay.
Digital Dan trying to decide if he can call. He cannot.
Aldi can.
Yep. So what are we looking for? Ace, deuce, X all clubs. That's the sick flop.
So sick.
Thank you. That was the jargon.
Well, that's top pair and bottom pair.
There is something.
Yeah. It's a pretty good flop for King 9 though. Even has the backdoor clubs.
What is the stuff in it? It's like photos? It's like memorabilia?
No, it's like three-dimensional, like
Okay.
50.
Yeah, but why do you put stuff in the box?
not just paper.
Stuart's like, why do you
like-
put, what's the purpose?
Oh my goodness, what a crazy turn card. The
That is
deuce of
quite a
clubs.
turn card. This could get a little wacky, I suppose.
Yeah, I think so.
I've heard of a shadow box.
This is an easy continue here for Mamba.
100.
I don't like a check raise as Aldi. I know it looks amazing, but
Why? But you've got top pair.
yeah, you could just
really don't
win.
need
You could
to.
just win by calling, and check raising, you're only getting called by better hands.
It just doesn't seem to have a lot of value. Wow, if a club comes on this river, it's gonna be hard for Mamba to see that.
It's a 4.
4 diamonds.
Damn.
Well, things are lining up pretty good here for Mamba to get a nice juicy value bet in here and might just get called.
I mean, Aldi's called twice. I would go big. 300, 350.
Yeah, you can have missed your Jack 10 or something like that really easily.
What do you do as Aldi if he bets 350?
Mamba's the one guy who like you may have to call. Mamba has a lot of bluffs. We've
Yeah.
seen that.
He's also got overpairs, though.
He sure does. He's got overpairs. He's got full houses. And as we see, he has trip deuces.
Yep.
270, 265, it looks like. Something like that. There it is.
From what we've seen from Mamba in this session so far, I do think you have to call.
I think so, too. 265 into, what is it, about 400? I think we'd have to call here with King 9. We might be beating some value once in a while. Hard to believe, but once in a while.
The call has been made. I suppose it was verbalized.
Yeah. And he's putting out the money, and it's immediately going to get shipped over.
That's not a good
to
feeling.
Mamba. Well, could have been worse.
Oh, it says Aldi's up 3.7K.
Well, he only has like 2.2K in his stack, so
Something's wrong.
there's, you know what it is? It's that one of the bomb pots from the last episode, it hasn't been factored in correctly, his stack.
Ah.
Because, you know, we split the bomb pot, so he only got half of a
Right,
win
right.
probably somewhere, and
Look at all these stats.
it's pretty exciting.
This is for those stat heads.
Mustache, not a big pre-flop raiser, I'm seeing. 5%.
The bigger the mustache, the lower the PFR.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
That's the part I'm gonna remember.
You can't tell, but he does have a big mustache.
You really wouldn't think so based on what we're seeing, because he's so... There's a lot of sheen to his forehead there, but he's got a huge...
People with sheen foreheads don't have mustaches now.
He's got a huge mustache under that mask. I'm just telling you. Huge. It's weirdly big. It's a very hungry caterpillar.
Great book.
Classic. Are they going to limp the 8s now under the gun?
He's in limp mode, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Wonder if he's feeling the pain of the last hand or if he just would have limped anyway. He did limp last hand with King 9.
I can use one. I don't understand.
Danny's going to try to isolate with Queen 10. Looks like we're going to end up with a flip.
Danny with position and the initiative.
This shit was, you wouldn't be single.
Well, Aldi should be check calling this board, and Danny should be betting this board.
Yep. There's the check.
That's on the dating website.
We're gonna keep looking at Aldi though. We don't really need to see Danny.
No, we get what Danny's doing. We get it.
It's better not to see him sometimes, you know.
What's the shadow box for real?
Probably. He has like 3 sisters.
There's
he
the
is.
bet.
I wish we didn't see him.
65 into 95, and there's the call. The question really, I guess we're gonna have to see what this turn card is, if it brings a heart or not.
My daughter a shadow box.
It does.
I don't believe you.
I think I expect Danny to shut it down. I'd be worried about hearts. I'd be a little worried about 5-6. Not too worried about.
Not too worried about 5-6. Hearts, kings are both problems for us. We can get a 7 to fold if we bet again. We might be able to get a king to fold.
Danny looks like he's gonna shut it down.
Yeah.
Based on not seeing him at all.
And another 7 comes. There's Danny. Another 7 comes.
Only a 2-dimensional object.
Aldi looks like he's gonna put in a bet here.
This is an ambitious value bet.
Yeah.
It's just a blocker bet, I guess, but I don't know if you can really get called by worse hands.
I mean, is pocket 6 is ever gonna call? I don't think so.
Or ace high. Like, it doesn't feel like it.
For shadow boxes.
No.
I think that's probably a bad time for a blocker bet.
It's hard. Yeah, like you said, hard to get any kind of value. By checking, we might get Danny. We give Danny a chance to bluff.
I think Aldi was doing half of the blocker bet, not thinking about the other half. Like, he was like, this is the price that I'm willing to pay on this river, and
Yeah.
that's the piece of the blocker bet that makes sense. But in order for a blocker bet to be effective, you do have to be able to get called by weaker hands sometimes.
Agreed. I don't think that was a bluff either, trying to get a slightly better hand to fold.
Doesn't seem likely.
Like, 10s are in a terrible spot there and might fold.
They
But
might.
it didn't seem like doing that size bet. Usually 10s may just find a call.
Yeah.
You know, like usually you take a bigger swing.
Straddling now. I straddled my last button. It worked as well as everything else.
Got a button straddle, so mustache will start. This is a hand that Aldi should fold and does. A lot of people make the mistake with the button straddle of just calling their whole range out of the big blind.
Right, because it's so cheap.
Yeah.
It feels like you're in the small blind and it's like, limped to you. But
Right.
it's not the same.
Shadow box.
And there's Stuart Younger once again with the 4 deuce.
He's been getting that 4 deuce, which is the digital Dan special, and Stewie is definitely willing to mess around with it.
He won the last 2 times he played it and showed it both times.
And he will definitely show it if everybody folds.
Well,
And they
everybody
did.
folds.
That was a bluff.
There it
There
is.
it is.
Shadow boxes.
There it is.
I mean, I'm happy, but DM hasn't got it once tonight except that bomb pot.
It just,
Some
now
people
I
may
know it's
may
just
ask
sitting
why.
there.
Why is the 4 deuce digital Dan's
Saturday
favorite hand?
day. It's
And there is
just
a
sitting
there
at
is an
the
answer
1
for
or the
that.
9.
Can we say it?
I think we can. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I think I do.
What is it?
The answer to everything.
Life, the universe, and everything.
Yeah.
That's correct. Good job. I didn't think you were going to get that because I don't think much of you in your, just in general.
No, it's from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Do they have big socks?
Very nicely done.
Thanks.
You're on fire. That was good.
How about a box? Do they have a big box?
Dan, even though Dan knows that was a joke, he's going to cringe when he hears that I said that.
No, maybe. He's going to laugh.
20 on
Maybe.
the button.
All right, we got a straddle on the button, and all these got 9s in the small blind. Now, he's been limping a lot. He limped with 8s.
Boredom sets until the next bomb punt.
He will limp with 9s. And here's 10s from Michael, and he will limp.
What is going on?
It's fine.
To quote Phil Hellmuth, is this even real life?
That is something Phil Hunt likes to say. And Stuart, a much worse hand, decides to raise.
I don't hate it.
Nope, me either. I think it makes perfect sense. He thinks he's going to get these guys to fold a lot
He's
after
not,
having limp,
though.
but he's very wrong.
But he could still win the hand, obviously.
Sure.
That's the nice thing.
Mamba's thinking, and Mamba's reaching
Ooh,
with
he's
jacks.
got the real hand.
Everybody's got a hand.
Jacks are the true.
Yep. Looks like 300. 275, actually.
Well, this might get rid of the other pairs. And then Stewart, I guess, has to fold, even though the price is good.
Price is amazing.
They're pretty deep.
Yeah, no, there was.
You have ace-10 off. It's such a
There was a
janky hand to call out of position with, a 3-bet.
I think if Aldi or Michael enters this pot any further, they should probably put in a 4-bet, even though it feels crappy.
It sucks to do it. You don't even have a blocker.
Yeah.
Any of the blockers you really want to. Looks like Aldi is not going to fold.
Not
This
sure.
is pretty interesting if you're Stuart and Michael when you see that.
I'm not sure I love that call.
I'm surprised Michael folds 10s here. I guess the problem is Stuart could put in another raise.
Yeah,
and
he
that's-
absolutely could.
So that's a reason to fold.
I think Stewart has to call now. Look, it's 150 to 1 715.
He closes the action. I think he has to call too. I agree with you.
You could flop a straight, you know? You could flop
Sure, you flop 2 pair.
Yeah.
I think there's pretty good implied odds to get some value.
This is just such a terrible hand for the situation.
And now you're up against 2 players. Sometimes you're dominated both ways. when you're-
Still, the price is so nice.
I know. Like Aldi could have ace jack here, and Mamba could have, queens. But
He's looking up a different shadow box.
Stewart's gonna trust himself and assume he can figure it out later on in the hand.
Yeah.
I think he really does have to call, like we're saying.
It would be just so much nicer if it was suited.
Yep.
I forgot.
Easy play if you're suited.
I don't know who's on top.
But here we go. There's already 865 in the pot, and there's that beautiful ace for Stewart.
Aldi does have the 9 of clubs, but he's not going to feel very great about that. Stewart, this is a spot where if Mamba does bet, which I don't think he will with
No,
this
me neither.
action. But
Not
if he did, like as Stewart, I guess you call, but you hate it.
You have to call once.
Yeah.
You can't call pre-flop and fold to top pair in this spot. That would just be absurd. What are we calling for?
Well, what if Mamba somehow bet 750?
Okay, fine. But any kind of reasonable bet here.
Yeah.
Now, I don't expect him to bet at all, like you're saying. On 3 clubs, ace high board, 3 ways. It seems very optimistic. And
Yeah.
there's the check.
Now Stewart probably feels all right.
That 3 is good news for Stewart, where now he's really looking at Aldi. Because Aldi's the most dangerous.
Right.
player
Aldi could
for him
have ace
now.
queen or ace jack here.
Yep. Aldi also has the king of clubs a lot more often. Stewart checks again now. Not a lot of value in betting, except to deny equity to the clubs. There's the king, and kings does come in, and Mamba's the guy who has kings, if
Yeah.
anyone does.
He could have kings.
Stewart with the best of it. Probably this is just going to check through again, unless Aldi wants to go for it. He does not.
Mamba's probably going to check because he can envision a world where he wins.
Absolutely. Not only that, it's hard to get the better hands to fold at this point. If someone has an
Yeah.
ace or even a king, they might call. They have king, queen, they might just call.
They might once Mamba's checked twice.
Yeah. You could size it up. I like his check back there.
And that's part of the value of that great price that Stewart got pre-flop.
Yes.
Not a chip win in post-flop, but the price was good enough.
Yep. Yeah, you don't always get big C bets and big
Yeah.
follow-throughs and stuff like that. And we assume it's often going to go that way, but
It is fun.
the 3 ways it certainly wasn't going to.
Does Ollie Monzo have tattoos? Do you have a tattoo?
Classic Stewart.
Classic
Take
Stewart.
chicken feathers and turn into chicken salad.
I'm gonna say he
Doesn't sound like a very good salad.
No, I didn't say it was good. It's probably bad.
Oh, yeah.
Classic Stewart.
Yeah. Making bad salad. I hate it when Stewart makes a salad and I have to eat it.
Yeah.
It's always got feathers in it.
He's known for his salads, though, in fairness to him.
Yeah, I mean, among like the avant-garde food people who don't actually care what it tastes like. They're like, oh, it's got feathers. That's different.
You know, that's sort of a thing. I went to a restaurant in Portland where they have pig ear, and it's sort of like a pig ear salad, and it's like,
Pig ear salad.
yeah, and it's, and like as you're eating it, like, this doesn't taste that great, but the mouth feel. And it kind of is like what they go for. I mean, that's not good enough for me, to be clear. Like, I prefer the flavoring. But
What restaurant was that?
the Avery.
Oh, I know that one.
Here's Wheel's turn with jacks.
Pig ear.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
I could see Will eating pig ear, but not in like a fancy way.
Yeah. Slather up some barbecue sauce after putting it on the grill.
Yeah.
Wheel takes it down easily. And so it goes.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's what happens when.
Just end any conversation with that, and people are like, man, that guy has thoughts.
Hmm?
I have no idea.
Real thoughts.
Real thoughts.
Well, no.
What?
Wait, that's one of their most famous songs. Is Jars of Clay? Oh.
I'm not into that. I like fancy food, but I don't like it when it gets weird like
We're
that.
doing.
Christian rock
Like
bands.
pig ear.
Yeah.
I mean, what if pig ear was amazing?
Follow a lot of Christian rock bands?
Well, then I would like it.
Yeah, it's not.
Follow a lot of Christian
Don't do
rock
it.
bands? I don't either.
I like fancy food.
Shadow box is the top.
I don't know. I think I'm willing to try most things, but I'm not. I'm not.
Like,
I guess we're both adventurous enough. Like we went to pretty authentic dim sum in Vegas with
Sure.
a person who speaks Mandarin and ordered for us, and we got like chicken feet.
Yeah,
which I wasn't a huge fan of the
Can't
chicken feet.
remember
resurrection
them
was
being
already
good.
taken.
But we did try them.
A lot of bone.
A lot of bone. A lot of like ankle.
By Raven.
A lot of knuckle.
Too much ankle in that meal.
Fold, fold.
Mamba is going to limp under the gun with the ace-9 of diamonds. Very exclusive hand.
Call.
There can only be one.
Check.
I can't raise no more, huh?
Like Highlander.
Yeah, I knew you were
No
gonna do
more
that.
cannot.
Probably.
Whatever.
Probably not.
Doesn't it just make sense that Kevin Sorbo should have been Highlander?
No.
Of course it does.
No, it does not.
Kevin Sorbo.
Kevin Sorbo is like a
Highlander.
he's like a cartoon version of Rutger Hauer. All right, the deuce pairs, and Deuce still has the best hand.
God's not dead. Kevin Sorbo.
That's right. Guys on at 3.
Oh, they're making a third one?
They've made a third one. It's,
good
it's
for
already
them.
come out.
I'm sure it's really good. There's a lot of good points. Stuart's going to win with a 5. Okay,
Yep.
$30.
Once again, it just checks around.
Bring one more.
And so it goes.
Oh,
If Mamba just raised that one pre-flop, he probably gets to win that at some point. But, you know, only cost him $10. And you know what time it is?
Mamba time?
Bomb pot time!
Oh, I thought it was Mamba time.
Nope. Time for a bomb pot, everybody. Put on your bomb pot shoes and get dancing.
I don't have bomb pot shoes.
Well, get
I
dancing.
wasn't prepared for the moment.
Well, Ted dancing for you. The rest of us will get dancing.
Ted Danson has a wide-ranging and respectable career, so
He
sounds
really
good.
does. He really does.
Watching Dan.
Just between you and me,
Tonight.
a little overrated though. Like,
You're not a dancing guy?
not as much as you
You're
would
not a
think.
dancing guy?
Not really a huge dancing guy. No.
Who's somebody of similar ilk that you think should be the
Huh.
Ted Danson of the world that isn't? You know?
I don't know. I'll have to think about that. That's tough.
He's got a non-
Studied dance.
See, maybe he's special and you didn't realize
not.
it.
I'll just tell you right now. The guy who immediately came to mind is Andre Brower, but he had kind of a more interesting career anyway.
He's younger than Ted Danson by a pretty significant margin, isn't he?
I don't know. They're both pretty old. Ted Danson just looks old because of the gray hair. Okay, here we go. Here comes the first board. It is 6-3-3, 2 clubs.
2 clubs for Danny with a gut shot straight flush draw in there.
Queen 7-8, 2 clubs.
Pretty interesting flops for Danny. Not like super good, but he's definitely got some stuff going on both.
Yeah.
Club draws on both, gut shot on the bottom.
Can't put in too much money if you're Danny, if you make your flushes. That's for sure. With just the 10 high
qualms.
flush, though.
Mamba's got nothing.
Digital down with the kings and bottom 2.
Bingo.
4-5 comes in if anyone has it. We don't know what half the people have, though.
No, ace 10 is better.
That's how I like it.
Yep.
Ace 10 off is
Should
better.
have played it better. That's a good point.
Yeah, I should have raised.
Well-
Fair enough.
Pre-flop.
Danny just has to dodge the jack. No, in fact, Danny does have the best flush draws.
That we know of.
Well, no, you can see the ace of clubs, the king of clubs, the queen of clubs are all out, except for the ace of clubs, which I do not see.
But you said it though.
I did. As if
So
it
that
was
makes
real.
it- that
as
makes
if it
it
was
real.
true.
and a bunch of dark horses.
Anyone have 5-6? Nope.
60.
4-5 and 5-6. Both straight draws do not come in.
I really felt that I was going to win.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Well, Stuart did bet. He could have some of those.
Yes, you're right. There's 8 cards we cannot see. Well, they're going to have to let it go. And Michael lets it go as well. And Stuart's just going to take it down here.
Get him to fold on the turn.
And just like
He
that.
probably had 4 deuce, 4
Stuart
deuce.
taught everybody a
All
lesson.
right.
Dude, no, he would have showed that.
Oh, you're right.
He loves showing the
Let
4 deuce.
everybody
That's
check you on the turn, or
classic
on the
Stuart.
button, on the turn and a bomb pot and just bet.
That'll do it.
And you scoop.
Or 2
That's why the button has value.
I'm pretty sure half the people at the table are asleep, so Stuart took advantage of that.
Just half?
Well, maybe more.
Just remember, you can lose your nuts on the river.
this riveting stuff.
Looks like another bomb pot.
I thought we were going to commercial. We didn't go to commercial.
I think everybody should keep
Probably going to commercial after this hand.
We'll learn about the new Audi after this hand.
That's right.
It flies.
Also,
Always drive responsibly.
I should, but shouldn't.
Unless you don't want to.
Let's just say that.
Always fly responsibly.
But won't.
Unless you don't want to.
Okay.
Eventually, that will get.
Yeah. Sure.
That's the subtext.
Anyway, here we go. Back to bomb pots.
All right.
Found out what happened.
First board.
You're at him.
Can't wait to see this board.
King, deuce 8 with 2 clubs. Clubs are just wild right now.
I mean, it's crazy. Am I right? It's like, how can you say?
6, Jack 4, rainbow.
How can you say there aren't poker gods when there's so many clubs all the time?
All right, all right. So looking to see if anyone has anything.
Mamba's got the nut flush draw up top and queens for an overpair on the bottom.
Okay. 5 of hearts and the ace of diamonds. So diamond draws. Well, Mamba's got a diamond draw as well. So he's got flush draws on both boards now. And top pair on the bottom and queens on the top.
Yes.
With an 8 as well. Danny R with 2 pair on the top and a diamond draw on the bottom.
Not a good diamond draw.
A lot of diamond draws out here. We see Digital Dan also has one.
Danny might just fold.
I know, me too.
It's not that good of a hand.
I mean,
in
all
either
these
spot.
diamond, like, having a flush draw isn't that great in these spots unless it's the nut flush draw
Right.
or the second nut flush draw. And really, you want the nut flush draw.
Oh, Michael's got something, I guess. He's going to call.
Well, Stewie Younger, by the way, with a set of 4s on the bottom board.
Yep. Set of 4s in the bottom, but really nothing else.
He's
good.
open-ended.
Open-ended. Okay. That's
No,
pretty good.
this is a good spot for him.
That's pretty good.
We don't know what Michael has, though. Stuart's going to have to play that set of 4s carefully. He's really hoping to make the nuts on the other board, and so he's got a shot to scoop or put pressure on people. That's not the nuts. So we don't know. Michael, I have to assume Michael's winning the top board. We can't see it, but
It seems likely with Mamba. Mamba's going to bet. Interestingly enough,
huh.
he missed the top.
What does he have on the bottom?
He's got top pair and ace hit the bottom.
Yeah. I think he has aces up. I think it was an 8 on the river. So maybe it's aces up.
I thought it was a 9, but
Oh, maybe you're right. Can't see it because we're not looking at that.
why would we look at that?
Michael just throwing, really going to take his time, I guess. Buy himself a minute right away.
So I assume Michael is winning at least one of the boards based on that. Maybe considering a raise.
It's only 190. That's the good news. Remember Stuart earlier, the last episode, called 1.1K to chop a pot of 500 and really knew he was only going for half the pot almost always. So from a pot odds point of view, this is a much better spot for Michael. Even if he's only winning
But he
half
does
the
have
pot.
Stuart behind, whereas Stuart was the last to act in that situation.
That is very true. And he
Lets
lets
it
it
go.
go. So Stuart with just really the set of 4s and nothing else going on.
Absolutely nothing on the top.
Looks like if Stuart makes the call, which for 190,
I think he
it
folded.
wasn't 9. I think, did he fold?
I think I saw a fold.
No, he still
No.
got the cards. If he makes the call, they're going to end up chopping because Mamba's queens are going to be good for him.
Probably not
Yep.
this hand.
Shockingly on the top, and Michael's probably going to be super unhappy, which we can look forward to seeing.
Oh, yeah.
But it's another spot where Stuart knows he's really just going for half the pot. But at least half the pot is $230. So he doesn't have to write that often.
I probably lose.
He does call.
He's going to get half. And Mamba's going to be kind of lucky to get half.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get Michael's reaction here once he sees Mamba's hand. Not really getting anything off that.
The mask doesn't help.
Nope. I was hoping we get like a real, a lot of gesticulation,
I don't want the 8 to play.
a lot of frustration, but not seeing any of that.
Well,
Where's your nut flush?
I should have probably talked or something and made him fold.
That was a pretty unusual bet there by Mamba.
Yes.
It ended up working out perfectly because we're pretty sure Michael folded what would have been the winner on that board.
Yep.
That one just doesn't want to stand.
And we're back.
Feels good.
The actual commercial happened.
It finally happened, and we can all relax.
Yeah, breathe a sigh of relief.
Yep. No more commercials. We're going ad-free the rest of the way.
Except for the
I
felt.
was like, shit. I
Well, yeah,
should've bet.
and any verbal things we do, along the way, like
Yeah.
bagels, buy them, stuff like that.
Which brand, though?
Doesn't matter.
The Nitrogen Sports brand is.
It's like when milk does or cheese does
Todd's
the
not here
commercial,
playing.
So it's
just
like a
for
lobby.
cheese.
It's a lobby.
Yeah, cotton.
Definitely not that.
I don't think there's a bagel lobby.
Oh well, of course you don't think
There's like a
bagel lobby.
wheat
Wow,
lobby and a flour lobby.
wow, you are. It's incredible you would say that.
Thank you.
But it's hard with a mask on.
You meant that in a positive
That's going to
way,
be
right?
with you forever. You can't escape that now. That's going out on
There's
the
not
to
a
the world.
bagel lobby? Yeah, I'll say that.
I
I'll
don't
say it on
think,
air.
I
I'll
don't
say it
think
again.
there's a bagel lobby. That's incredible. Anyway, Digital Dan, is that him calling? Or is that him raising?
Well, I think he only has hundreds, so
Yeah.
it's hard to know.
I feel one card short, but
It's
Probably a
him.
raise.
Yeah, I got to believe that's a raise.
It is. It's $80 now.
It's going to come back to Mamba with the King 7 of diamonds.
It is suited.
I mean, if we're going to limp this, I feel like we're supposed to call now.
It says call, but he hasn't done anything.
It says 60 to call.
Oh, it said call for a brief moment.
Okay, I mean, it actually even says
A
call now.
fleeting moment.
Looks like he's going to throw it away, though.
Monster fold.
So he was limping, hoping there wouldn't be a raise, I guess. And
I struggled
Well,
to
there
believe
was
that.
a raise.
there's a lot of raises.
yeah,
Oh, you weren't kidding.
I'm on a heater.
He's going to drink the
Go.
pain away.
Last hand out of
Let's
nowhere.
make the. Let's do this hand, then let's do a last hand bomb pot.
I like it.
Just a
Not
suggestion.
gonna argue with that.
We'll be really close.
Yes.
You got somewhere to be?
Yep.
Not sure.
I have arts and crafts to create.
If you don't know what the fucking shadow box is.
Yeah, like a.
I know.
John, he goes to
He's
Joanne
gonna
Fabrics.
go
to
with
find
it.
Reaction.
it.
Did you get the
Yeah.
Ooh, kings for Dan. Exciting.
Making jokes about.
Unfortunately for him, not a straddled pot.
Yeah, it's a little unlucky.
What? You met Josh?
Mustache with a pretty nice hand, too.
I call that obvious bluff.
I don't hate the idea of 3-betting in that spot, actually.
Gosh,
It looks super strong,
without Brittany.
and you can still flop the best hand.
That is a picture.
But calling is, of course, fine.
I mean, I think calling is definitely going to be the more standard play there.
Yes,
Rather than 3-betting the under the gun raiser with ace jack.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just thought it was an
does-
opportunity.
It does look super strong. I'll grant you that. I think we should probably take worse suited aces and do that with than the hand as good as
I
ace jack.
guess, but well, maybe live a little sometimes.
We want to keep the ace 10s of the world in, don't we?
Take it or leave it.
Whatever, ace 10. Look, ace 10's still in because of it. And there's the ace.
I guess I'm a fool.
You've been shown to be wrong again. So Mustache looking good right now. Mamba, of course, does have the 3 immediate outs.
Wow, he's just gonna lead.
This is a very strange decision.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm a fan of it.
We're 5-handed, under the gun, open, and +1 called, the raise.
This might be a game theory disaster.
Well, the kings just folded. Let's see if ace jack doesn't fold. I would expect ace jack to call. Ace jack looks like it would expect itself to call.
Well said.
Thank you. And there's the call.
Yeah, that's a game theory disaster.
Well, I mean, ace 8 is probably calling also if ace jack's calling. Like,
Okay,
but your point is still
yeah,
correct, I think.
Danny could actually call closing the action. It would be a pretty hidden straight if he hit it.
He is in position. He does have backdoor hearts.
I like it.
I don't hate it at all.
I think the implied odds are pretty good in this situation.
Yep. We can hit a heart. We can hit a 10. And sometimes they're both going to check to us, and we're going to be able to steal the pot. Wow.
Well, Mamba might be in a little trouble, but if a bet goes in and there's a call, he's got to know he's not usually winning against Mustache's +1 calling range.
Well, he is going to bet again. I think I like a check more for the very reasons you're saying.
A Mustache.
Wow,
is
look how
not
small he bet.
folding.
He bets 165 into 495.
Is he taking an entire line as a blocker bet? Like, it's not a blocker bet, it's a blocker line.
I don't think so,
Flop,
but I
turn,
don't
and
know.
river.
Mustache is just you have to call spot. Like, you're definitely losing sometimes here. You're losing like ace 9 and 9-9 and 7-7 and ace 7. And once in a while, I guess ace queen. But you just have to call.
I guess maybe Mamba could win as a bluff if he bombs her, but why would you do that?
It seems crazy to try and fold out a better ace. I think if anything, you're trying to get called by a worse ace. That's what you should be betting
Yeah.
for. You hope you're up against a small suited ace and bet for value. And don't bet too big. Also, it serves as a blocker bet, so you don't have to put in too much money.
So what do you think? Like, you think Mamba should bet?
I think it's okay to do that because a better ace is going to bet anyway. Like, if we check, isn't ace jack going to bet?
No, I think he's going to check.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
He would be afraid of getting called by worse hands.
I mean,
Let's
ace
see.
que-
Let's see if I'm right.
Yeah, let's find out. Because ace queen, you would assume would bet again here. And look, it looks like he is reaching. All right, so I was right. Feels good. Gonna get looks like an instant. Oh, I thought we were getting the immediate call here.
I don't think Mamba's beating any value. I don't think like Mustache. Sure, he bet ace jack. Do you think he's betting ace 3 suited?
Well, the thing to really ask is, is he ever betting ace 8, right? Because that's the next one.
I don't
down.
think so.
Yeah, that's the question. He very well might be checking back ace 8. I'm not sure. It seems pretty optimistic to bet 500 and 800 with ace 8, hoping to get called by an even worse ace. Your 8 does play, but ace 10 exists, ace jack exists. This is a really tough spot for Mamba. Like, Mustache kind of always has trip aces when he calls the turn, right?
Pretty much always. Or maybe he has.
I mean,
he doesn't really have 8-10.
8-10 is a straight anyway.
Yeah, but he doesn't really have it.
No, he doesn't have it. But
Yeah.
either way, it doesn't even matter,
Yeah.
though. Like, I think it's fine to think about it. This is a really tough spot. This is like the toughest hand to have here, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think ace jack we have to call.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Really?
But I definitely lean more towards it.
I mean, I think it's very possible Mustache is going to bet hands worse than ace jack here as well, like ace 10. And I don't know if he's betting ace 8, like we were saying. Trip aces, feels good. Oh, he shows it. I thought he was folding.
Wild West rules, you can show your hand.
Yeah.
Talk about your hand when your head's up.
See if Mustache even gives it a look. And I keep thinking he's going to throw that chip in.
Oh,
Dude,
wow.
lets it go. Great fold.
That is a nice fold.
Good fold. Nice hand.
Really? You gonna show?
He put it together.
Come on, show.
Mustache is probably checking back almost all the worst trip aces.
That's a nice fold.
Yep.
All right, bump up.
And 8-10 does get there, like you said. Not that 8-10 should be there.
I guess sometimes people will show up with 8-10 even though you wouldn't expect it.
He did bet, I think, third of the pot on the turn. But still, with Danny behind him, and
And
the
the
board
board
pairing,
pairing, yeah.
it's hard to imagine he's really calling. This looks like we are bomb potting it up. Excuse me.
Bomb palming.
Bomb pomming. Well, that's because we're doubling up, and it's $20 ahead instead of 10. That's called a bomb palm.
Is that because the session's about to end?
Well, we're near the end, that's for sure. I don't know
And
if
the
this is the
people
last
just
hand or
want to
not.
make sure they gamble more.
Yeah, so we bomb palm.
Bom, ba-dum,
It's like what
bom, bom.
cheerleaders have, right? Bomb palms.
Yeah, bomb palms.
Downstairs.
Cheerleaders for this game would be
When they
shaking
wanna
their
do
bomb palms.
bombs for $10, it's like
Yeah.
every
That's
one
not
of
weird to say. That
No,
fits-
no.
There's nothing.
No, look,
there's
I'm
nothing
sorry.
problematic with that.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to erase you.
All right, here we go. Maybe the last hand. Maybe one more after this, but we're staying ad free all the way.
So sick.
6, 8, 4, 2 spades.
There's an 8 for wheel on top. It's not ideal.
6, 6 deuce, 2 diamonds.
Who's got that 6? You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. Wheel doesn't.
No,
Wheel has a deuce.
We know
and
that
an
about
8.
wheel.
Wheel doesn't have much. 7-5 for the open ender for Digital Dan. Oh, straight. Excuse me.
Yeah,
for
it's a
Digital
straight.
Dan on top. He's gonna bet it right out. He's got nothing going on the other hand.
He's also got the nut flush draw on top, so he's got the top in pretty good lockdown.
Oh, that's a
mode.
really good point. That second part of it, having the nut flush draw, means he's got the nuts and he's got a redraw to the nuts. That makes a lot more sense why I'd bet. There's the 6. Danny's got it. So he's got trip 6s on one. He's also got a flush draw on that trip 6 board. Better hope he's not up against pocket deuces anywhere, though. There's only one combo of it, but
He's
still.
got some back doors on top that can come in too, but unlikely.
Yeah. It's just going to be these two guys. Looks like they're chopping most of the time. 5 of clubs and the jack of hearts. Danny makes the nuts on the... Well, not the second nuts, I should say, on the turn. And Digital Dan no longer has the nuts on that board.
Still pretty good, but yeah.
Pretty good, but now you don't love betting.
Right.
Because-
Still, at least the redraw to the nut flush helps.
Yeah.
I could see Danny betting big here.
I could see Danny winning this whole pot a lot on the river now where Dan doesn't have the nuts. If a spade doesn't come and the board gets even slight... Maybe he doesn't even have to get any jankier.
I like betting. with
Absolutely.
Danny. Don't have much hope on top. So this is, I mean, you have a straight draw now on top, I guess, but
Yeah.
it's not awesome.
It's not awesome at all. Dan calls. With the redraw, he kind of feels obligated to. Maybe he thinks once in a while he can hit a great card somewhere else. Hey, so Danny does not have anything on top, but he does have a blocker with a 9 to the nuts on top, which maybe will make him even more emboldened.
That's interesting.
Also, he's got a very strong hand on the bottom. He knows he's got the only 6. He blocks Jack, Jack. There's one combo of Jacks.
Yeah, I think Danny should bomb it.
I think you should bomb the hell out of it. There's 810 in there. This is a perfect time to go all in and give Dan a really tough spot. Really tough decision.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, what was your action? Just this?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Danny. 1540.
He
Yep.
did in fact do that.
That's well, we didn't look at him because we don't look at Danny when it's
No,
his
we
action.
never look at Danny. So Dan's in this really rough spot now. He's got the third nuts. He's often chopping against that straight if there is a straight out there at all. Of course, he's chopping. He can get quartered a lot.
And he's
here.
got not much at all on the bottom.
He's got nothing going on the bottom, right? Like he has literally ace high on the bottom. I think. I don't see how he can call. And again, he's calling to win, as he knows, at best half the pot.
Free roll from me. I'll pick one.
So 1.5 to win effectively $450.
Yeah.
How can he call?
I think this one's a fold, and he looks like he lets it go.
He does let it go.
That's going to be the last hand of this session, but don't worry, there will be more poker time.
Well, thank goodness for that.
We always bring the content.
Always. See you next week.